So why do we use springs so much in engineering? Sometimes we use springs to absorb a force that's applied to it in order that that force is not transferred onto a neighbouring object. You'll see springs used in many types of valves, solenoid valves, air actuated valves, safety valves, relief valves, overpressurization valves, piping supports, and for many other applications. So the next time you look at a spring in engineering, ask yourself, what's it doing? Why is it there? Is it compressed? Is it extended? What will happen when a force is applied to it? We're now looking at a relief valve. The spring is located inside. You can see it's this item where my mouse is. And if we play the animation, you can see the spring being compressed now. So what we do, we compress the spring, and we can actually calculate how much to compress the spring based upon its length, radius, the thickness of the coil, and the material used. And what we want to do, we want to make sure that the spring begins to be compressed at 12 bar pressure. This is actually a pneumatically controlled globe valve. The valve opens and closes like so. What we actually do, we supply pneumatic pressure onto this side of a diaphragm. That causes the springs to become compressed. If the system pressure should increase, let's say to 12 bar instead of 10, then we want our valve to open in order that we can reduce the pressure in the system before it increases still further and causes damage to our piping system. Maybe a pipe rupture, maybe damage to a pressure vessel, maybe damage to a weld or anything like that. In this particular example, we can allow a piping system to move, to grow due to thermal expansion, and then to shrink again as it cools down. If you put the slinky on the top of the stairs and you tipped it over, the slinky would appear to walk down the stairs, and this made it quite interesting and appealing to kids. So it's amazing how much money you can make with a spring if you market it correctly.